Number 17, Shantae Clapham. Number 16, Krista Rathbone. Number 12, Andy Christensen. Number 20, Allison Tan. And so every women's champion for the Warrior Vikings. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Ramona Bulldogs. Number 2, sophomore Powell Crockett. Number 17, sophomore Matt Kelsey. Number 13, the junior, Daniel Montillo. Number 14, the senior, Alex Snyder. Number 3, the sophomore, Derek Portman. And now the starters. Number 21, the senior, Abraham Amina. Their goalkeeper is the senior, Aaron Crockett. Number 10, the sophomore, Ryan Higginbotham. Number 7, the senior, Jose Harmilio. Number 20, the senior, David Montillo. Number 12, the junior, Dan Rizzo. Number 23, the junior, Brian Talbot. Number 1, the sophomore, Jacob Kepney. Number 6, the sophomore, Blake Wilson. Number 5, the senior, Chad Wilson. Head coach, Chris Welch, and the 2000 Ramona Bulldogs. 5, the junior, Jason Bale. Number 8, the junior, Joe Floyd. Number 12, the junior, Mike Kappa. Number 20, the senior, Matthias Gonzalez. Number 3, the junior, Steve Brooks. Number 4, the senior, Chris Cooper. Number 14, the sophomore, Juan Macklin. Number 15, the sophomore, Todd Morgan. Number 1, the senior, Chris Berkeley. Number 18, the 9th grader, John Zimmer. And now the starters, ladies and gentlemen. Defenseman, wearing number 11, the senior, Ryan Blair. At forward, number 19, the sophomore, Nick Clemens. The midfielder, number 6, sophomore, Bobby Diaz. Their goalkeeper, number 1, sophomore, Garrett Gobea. Defender, number 5, the junior, Matt Kamali. Forward, number 15, junior, Scott Martin. Forward, number 10, the senior, Matt McCausland. Defender, number 7, the junior, Nick McNeil. Midfielder, number 2, the sophomore, Kevin Meisner. Defender, number 13, senior, Mark Fitzmeyer. And forward, number 17, the sophomore, Jason Weiner. Head coach Kevin Yankee and the remainder of the 2000 University of San Diego High School Dons.
Hi everybody, I'm Dan Williams, and on behalf of George Langevin Sports Video Productions, like to welcome you to Mesa College, site of today's Super Game of the Week, the Division III Boys San Diego CIF Section Championship game, and we've got two top teams out on the field. The 1999 defending champions, the Ramona Bulldogs, they are going up against the University of San Diego High School Dons. On the move quickly, it is the Bulldogs. They are in the red, white, and blue uniforms, the blue and white stripes predominant. In the white uniforms with the red stripes and lettering, that is the Dons from the University of San Diego. Both of these teams will move up and down the field early in this first part of the game, try and get some strategy, the feel of the game, the flow of the game. The ball quickly gets inside the box. Opportunity! My, oh my. Quickly, the foot on the ball by Kevin Meisner.
South goal here in the first half.
Aaron Crossett had to come up and defend. The ball comes in. Headshots. Up and over. So quickly, the Dons trying to capitalize here very, very early in the first part of the game. Now, normally what you'd see is both of the teams would move up and down the field between the box lines, kind of get to know one another, trying to get the feel of the flow, but quickly, the Dons moving downfield, having shots on goal early. They've got 2 of them. Down deep, Clemens trying to center the ball inside the box. It's cleared out. Nice header back by Ryan Blair. Now into the near side outside the touchline. Dons will have the throw in. Number 11, Ryan Blair, a senior defender for the Dons. Dons ranked number 1 as they come into this game, the number 1 seed with an overall record 16-7-1. Aaron Crossett on the knee.
Scott Martin.
Crossett will extend it. Waiting for the head referee, and that'll give it a goal kick. Head referee and 2 assistant referees walking the touch lines. And we've got 2 40-minute halves of regulation to try and determine a boys Division III champion for this year. Again, Ramona High School trying to repeat the success they had in 1999 here in 2000. They went up against Chula Vista High School last year, was able to defeat them in the finals. And they want to do it again here and right now. University of Dons, they have had a long-going successful soccer program. And they would like to come back and come out on top here to start the new millennium, if you will. Free kick comes in. Nick McNeil, a defender, a junior for the Dons. A nice ball coming in, a little bit too high. Going high for the header was Jason Weiner. Couldn't quite get there. A good, strong kick by the Dons sends it outside of the goal line, and we'll have a goal kick for Ramona High School. For Ramona High School, head coach Chris Welch. They are seated, were seated, that is, number 3 going into this finals game. Ramona High School with a record overall 13-8-2. And it doesn't matter what records are, it doesn't matter what rankings are. The bottom line is you are right here, right now in the CIF Division III Boys Championship game here at Mesa College. This game is being brought to you by George Langevin Sports Video Productions, your leader in Game of the Week coverage. Fishing for the ball. Stuck in the ivy over there. This field barely fits inside, which normally is a football field. Good strong throw, taking it out of the ground, or the air, that is. Aaron Crossett, good hands and a good punt by Crossett. He sends it downfield, but it's headed back by Feisenmayer. Downfield the ball comes, trying to get to it before it's outside the touchline. Good job keeping it inside. Cleared out by the Dons. Early trying to take control, Scott Martin. Back it comes by Ryan Higginbotham. Outside that it goes. So the starters for Ramona, Aaron Crossett in the keeper's box. Jacob Tepane is number 1. Number 5, Chad Wilshusen. His brother Blake Wilshusen is number 6. Number 7, Jose Jaramillo. Number 10 is Ryan Higginbotham. Dan Rizzo is number 12. Number 20, David Montijo. Abraham Aviles is number 21, and number 23, Brian Talbot. Ball comes down, fighting for it. Clemens as well as Jaramillo. Dons puts the ball back into play, trying to get it inside the box, now driving inside. McLaughlin. And at the last moment, Brian Talbot, the junior for Ramona, sends it outside of the goal line, and we'll have our corner kick, that is, for Ramona High School. Corner kick time for Dons as it goes outside of Ramona's goal line. Corner kick will come in by Matt McCausland. McCausland sends it in, looking for a header. It's there, but it's the defensive header by Ramona as they clear it out effectively. High ball comes in. We've got a player down on the field inside the box. That is a Ramona player. And we have an injury on the field, colliding when that ball came in from the corner kick. One of the Ramona players went up high for the header, came down hard, and he is up on his own. We'll take a look and see exactly who it is for you. Back up under his own power.
Ramona player up on his own and still in the game. Oh, way to go.
Looks like it may be Jacob Tepane. And it is. Jacob Tepane shaken up on the play. He will stay in the game, and the ball will be put back into play. Dropping the ball onto the far sideline. Ball won by the Dons. Nice feed now, moving inside the box. Grosh has it. He'll try and make the turn. That's Meisner. Inside the box, shot on goal, sails high. Scott Martin
with the shot on goal.
Number 15, the forward, junior, takes a shot on goal, and that sails wide or way over the crossbar. And it'll be a goal kick for Ramona. A lot of power in the legs of these athletes. Nice ball comes in. The field that we have here today is very, very fast. Nice ball downfield by Abraham Aviles. Huge opportunity at the last moment. Just missing on the wide post side.
With the shot on goal.
Wow. Coming out of nowhere, Garrett Govia came up as the keeper to take the ball, and at the last second, driving deep was Chad Wilshusen, number 5. Wilshusen almost capitalized on an empty net for Ramona High School. First big play of the game, I would describe. Tough to see the numbers on Ramona High School's jerseys. They lay those red numbers right over the big blue stripe. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you if that was Chad or not. So if we give credit where credit is or isn't due sometimes, please bear with us. On the move, Dawns, McCausland. Outside that it goes. Throw-in will come in on the far sideline. No score. Again, 2 40-minute halves is what we've got to play for you here in regulation. And we also have a little bit of sunshine peeking through here. We mentioned about the fact that the field is fast right now. As we get the Dons inside the box, header. Defense is there for Ramona. Right now, Dons putting some heavy pressure on the attack offense and on the defense of the Bulldogs. Wow. Field is fast. Threat of rain. We're supposed to have a big storm coming through. In the beginning of February, we had drought conditions in Southern California. We weren't sure whether or not we were going to have any rain. Nice defensive play once again. But then February came up. Foot on the ball by Ryan Higginbotham. Higginbotham doing a nice job in his position defensively. He's only a sophomore, and he's taking control defensively inside the box of the Bulldogs. Dons continuing to put a heavy attack of pressure offensively down deep here. They've had the ball in control down deep here for a while now. But when February came up, we started getting rain. Drills a bullet, headed back out defensively, picking the ball up on the far sideline. A big challenge, and that ball will be awarded free kick to Ramona. Higginbotham sends one downfield, headed by McNeil, and this time it goes the other way as McNeil is collided into as he's in the air. That's a no-no. So rains came a-pouring down in February. We've had a few days of either very light rain or no rain at all, and that's dried out these fields. But we've got a big storm on the way. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, which is Sunday. We've got clouds around us, but as you look right above us, you'd say partly cloudy skies. But there's winds blowing. That's causing the clouds to move in and move out. We'll have sunshine for a little bit, and it'll warm up a tiny tad, and then all of a sudden we get some cold weather. Shot on goal, number 17, Jason Weinhardt from outside the box on the knee, cross it. He'll extend the foot out and send it downfield. Uni on the move once again. McCausland out to the far side, trying to get there, not in time. Watching it go out, good effort, Robbie Diaz. David Montijo grabs the ball again out of the ivy, and they'll have the throw in. Dan Rizzo. Rizzo will have the throw in, and a good strong one. Boy, you get this age level, these guys can do it all. Got the strength, the speed, the fundamental skills, displaying it out here today in the boys Division III championship game. Had the Division III women's game. Looking for a shot on goal was Feisenmayer. Trying to make the turn is Clemens. Defense is there, 2-on-1. Kamerly is there as well. Higginbotham and Wilshusen. Well, if you see the front of the jerseys for the Ramona Bulldogs, you can check out their number. It's right on above their chest in a white stripe area. Turn of the ball, picked up, back for control, taken away and won by the Dons. Dons moving downfield, McCausland shot on goal, sails wide and high. So the Dons definitely peppering at Aaron Crossett and the keeper's box. Have not yet found the net.
Number
Boy,
10, Matt McCausland.
could it be just a law of probabilities? More shots on goal, higher probability of you finding some net. Higginbotham sends one out, headed back by Weinert. Picked up again by Diaz. Diaz challenged effectively by Montijo. Montijo sends it out. Five substitutions on the bench for the Bulldogs. You've got an entire team on the other side. 9 players on the bench for the Dons. Strong throwing, gets it inside the box, looking for a header. Martin. Ball will come back in by Higginbotham. Ramona wants to try and get it past that midfield line. Higginbotham will do it. He's got a good, strong leg, kicks it. And now Ramona picks up the ball, looking over to you got both brothers out there, Chad and Blake Wilshusen. The problem is that they look exactly the same. And so when we miss call, don't give us grief. I think it's anybody's call out there. Once again, Dons, they'll have the throw-in on the near sideline. Head coach Kevin Yaley for the Dons. His counterpart is Chris Welch. Again, both these coaches, once again, leading their teams into the CIF playoffs, ultimately reaching this finals game. Shot on goal, too many bodies. Shot on goal by the Dons, too many feet. Ball ricochets off like a pinball, and it'll be a goal kick for the Bulldogs again, and Bulldogs time after time after time having to defend their box. Dons get the nod right now of keeping the pressure down deep and heavy on the Ramona Bulldogs. Ball is free, picked up by Weinert. Weinert stays with it, wins the ball, back to Kamerly. Inside the box, shot and cleared out. Looked like that Kamerly was going to try and wind up and then got tangled up with one of the Ramona players. Ball outside of the touchline, throw-in coming up by the Dons. We mentioned this soccer field, the dimensions itself barely fitting inside, which is normally a football field. And then you've got to worry about the loose, decomposed granite of a track that surrounds this field. Earlier in the game against the Division III girls, a couple of the athletes stepped out onto the gravel and lost their footing. In the Division III girls matchup, it was the La Jolla Vikings going up against the University of San Diego High School girls. In that game, Maddie Tomatillo of the Vikings had a hat trick, scored 3 goals as the Vikings were able to defeat the San Diego High School girls by a score of 3-1. The 1 goal by the University of San Diego High School girls scored right at the end of the first half. There was literally probably 60 seconds or more, and it was Colleen Fogarty. Here, University of San Diego High School boys trying to look for something different. Ball breaks free inside the box, challenge coming up, looking for an opportunity to cross the ball. Defense is there by the Dons. With the ball and the foot on the ball, number 5, Chad Wilshusen. Sends it outside of the goal line on the near side. Goal kick by Garrett Govea. And the Dons Number 7, Nick McNeil, will put the ball back into play. The starters for the Dons, you got Garrett Govea in the keeper's box. Kevin Meisner is number 2. Number 5, Matt Kamerly. Robbie Diaz is number 6. Nick McNeil is 7. Matt McCausland is number 10. And Ryan Blair, number 11. Number 13, Mark Fizenmayer. Number 15, Scott Martin. 17, Jason Weinert. And Nick Clemens is number 19. Higginbotham gets to the ball first, delivers it to Chad Wilshusen. Ball goes outside of the touchline on the near sideline. Jaramillo, throw in. No score. First half of play. Head referee on the field has the official time as the sun now comes out, and we'll get some shadows on the field. Warm everybody up a little bit. Dons on the attack inside the box. Shot on goal. Higginbotham is there. Shot on goal. That one goes in.
Goal!
Jason Weinert puts the ball into the net for the Dons.
From Uni, Jason Weinert.
Sophomore, number 17, Jason Weinert for the Dons scores first blood. Dons go out in front now, 1-0 in this first half of play. And I'm not sure what the official time is. Our scoreboard clock has not been working very well at all. About all I can tell you right now is I know we're in the first half of play, and at least probably more towards the 3/4 mark, estimating we're probably at the 24-minute mark of this game. But nonetheless, Jason Weinert puts the goal into the net, and for the Dons, they go out in front by a score of 1-0. Dons will have the ball put back in play. And so they'll give it to Ramona, the Bulldogs, right at the midfield line. Strong throw. We get it all the way down there into the corner. Fighting for it, trying to make the turn, won't do it. Good defense by number 13, Mark Fizenmayer. Ball sails out of the touchline or rolls out. Ball comes back in. Down the touchline, sails outside, so for the Bulldogs, they'll have it. A lot of great sponsors that help CIF support school athletics or athletics and school sports here in San Diego. Health South, Power Bar, Auto Trader, just to name a few. Got great coverage by the North County Times. They do a great job of really following prep action, especially when it comes to North County teams. Dons on the attack now. Wide open is Martin. Martin gets by. Can he get to Higginbotham? Higginbotham is there. And that'll go outside of the goal line. Good charge by Martin. Higginbotham comes up. They'll have a goal kick. Well, if you really want to get some good sports coverage, the newspapers in town do a good job. Another thing that's going on is our local cable channel that really is becoming a great media for prep action and sports is Cox Channel 4. They also have the San Diego Padres, but they also, earlier this year, or I should say at the end of 1999, they had the CIF football championships on, and later tonight they'll be broadcasting the basketball championships from Cox Arena. Nice ball picked up by Martin. Martin will take a shot on goal. No, Abraham Aviles was there. Aviles doing a nice job of sacrificing his body as Martin tried to extend his leg and give a full-on kick. Taken away by Wilshusen. Dons 1, Bulldogs nothing. First half action. Substitution coming in for the Dons.
Number 3, it looks like.
Steve Grosh, number 3, a forward, a junior for the Dons. He comes in as fresh legs, immediately finds some action fighting for the ball. Ball awarded back over to the Bulldogs. Long ball downfield. Ball at the midfield line. McCausland sends it down. Grosh and Higginbotham. Higginbotham will find the ball first. And now on the move is Diaz. Good slide tackle to take the ball away. Defense by the Bulldogs is there. Inside the box, Higginbotham. Clear out. Bulldogs back on the attack. Dons. The feed over to Fisenmayer. Fires one. Up and over the goal. Once again, Dons definitely continuing to put the pressure. Shots on goal in favor of the Dons. Obviously, they're also out in front by a score of 1-0, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that the Dons have kept that ball down in the Ramona Bulldogs part of the field this whole first half. They've had far more shots on goal than the Bulldogs does, and that tells the story. They've got the ball down, and they're giving themselves opportunities. Grosh gives way to McCausland. McCausland now challenged in part by Montijo. Clear out of the box, picked up by Diaz. Diaz shot on goal. And are they going to give him a corner kick? Corner kick it is. So it must have grazed the outstretched hands, the fingertips of Aaron Crossett, just enough for the ball to go out and give the Dons a corner kick. Nice dive by Aaron Crossett to make sure the ball doesn't find its way into the net, but it does give the Dons a corner kick. Matt McCausland. Here it comes. Another nice one. Header action, gets by everybody, picked up by Martin. Martin will try and put it back into the box. Martin will feed it over to Blair. Blair, top of the box feed, picked up by Weinert. Weinert off to McCausland. McCausland centering it, looking for some header action. Wow! Aaron Crossett jumps high and snags the ball. Wow. Crossett looked like he was an NFL receiver.
Shot on goal.
That ball was coming across, and Crossett just snagged that thing out of the air. Well, you know,
with a great save for Ramona.
when you think about the types of characteristics a goalkeeper has to have, it's 3 big ones.
Hey, get them while they're hot, get them while they're cold, get them while they're new, get them before they're sold. Hot dogs, nachos, ice cold sodas, all sorts of goodies available at the concession stand. Stop by there and see the fine people working there. They'll be glad to fix you up. Thank you.
Crossett, he gets down on the knee just like an infielder would in baseball. He'll get down and cover that ball up. He'll move to left or right just like an infielder. Then he's got the vertical leap like a basketball star. And then did you see those hands? Just like a receiver, just grabs that ball out of the air. He's got the whole package, Aaron Crossett does, goalkeeper for Ramona High School Bulldogs. Bulldogs do have the throw in on the far sideline. Trying to keep the ball into play. Grosh will send it across the midfield line. A nice one headed back defensively by the Bulldogs, winning the ball. Bulldogs, but last touch as it goes outside of the touchline. Dons, throw in, midfield. Diaz. Now it's Blair. Blair is challenged, taken by Wilshusen. Wilshusen not giving up, into the air for a header coming up. Aviles. On the ground, picked up by Wilshusen. No call made. Both players going after the ball. Wilshusen and McNeil. Ball comes in, out. Giving for the feed, shot on goal, it rolls. Gouveia takes it. Gouveia punts the ball high. It's a short one, though. Won't make it to the line. Good header by Wilshusen, but they're going to give it to the Dons. Up and over the back of Nick Clemens was Wilshusen. Free kick comes in by the Dons, Ryan Blair.
With a shot on goal for Ramona.
Just outside the box, defense is there, Wilshusen. Good hustle by Chad Wilshusen. Wilshusen, a lot of sophomores on this team. Topane, Torpin, both Wilshusens. Higginbotham, very much a big part of this team. They're going to be around here for a long time. Substitution now for the Dons. Looks like Hooper might be into the game. Fighting, battling it out, Talbot. And they're going to give it to the Dons. They're saying that Talbot last touched it for the Bulldogs. And so McLaughlin will have a goal kick for the Dons right now. 33-minute mark of the first half. McCausland punches one in. Header inside the box, looking for a shot on goal. Shot on goal, sails high. So 3 different Dons players had an opportunity. Finally tagging the ball was Scott Martin, 15. Sails high of the crossbar, and Higginbotham will put it back into play.
Number 19, Nick Clemens with a shot on goal for the University of San Diego.
Ball will come back into play by Higginbotham. Comes up high. Martin, nice header. Carry through by the Bulldogs. There's a push from behind. No call, no foul. Play on. 2-on-1. Ball won by the Dons. Grosh has it. Grosh looking for the feed, and a nice one it is, but Higginbotham will get there first. Grosh had a nice ball fed to Weinert, but Higginbotham with the angle able to get to the ball first. Again, Dons, heavy pressure all this first half on Ramona Bulldogs. Bulldogs trying to scratch their heads and figure out how they can cross the midfield line and put some pressure down on Gouveia and the defensive perimeter of the Dons. Throw in coming up by Chris Hooper. So Hooper is in the game, a midfielder, a senior for the Dons. Cross it. Heads up play, Grosh looking to challenge. Off the side of the foot, sails wide. Cross it looks as it goes out. So the ball will come in by the Dons. Dons 1, Bulldogs nothing. The goal by Jason Weinert in this first half. And we've got a substitution coming out as Jason Weinert himself. Coming into the game, number 2, Kevin Meissner. So Meissner back into the game. Sophomore midfielder for the Dons.
Number 2, Kevin Meissner checking in for Uni.
Strong throw. They'll do it again. Merrill Douglas Stadium, home of the Olympians for San Diego Mesa College, but right now it's home of Division III boys San Diego section CIF Championship Soccer. Dons out in front of the Bulldogs 1-0 as we are coming up into the 36-minute mark of this first half of play. Higginbotham, he has got a strong leg. He'll put the ball back into play. Perimeter defense is set for the Dons. Higginbotham comes up. He gets it up and high, looking for some header action. He's got it. Ball is free. It's still on the ground. Temporary cleared out Ramona brings it back into the box on the far sideline. Wilshusen takes the tumble, and the ball goes outside of the touchline on the far side. Bulldogs right here now, deep. They have control of the ball. Most of their players inside the box. Playing up. Good strong throw, gets it in there. Cleared out by the Dons. Nice one-touch, picked up by Grosh now on the near sideline. He is on the move. Grosh tangles it up. Staying with it is Dons. Outside the goal line it goes. Chris Hooper for the Dons sends it outside the goal line. Ramona brings the ball downfield, and the Dons display nice counter-attacks. The field is fast, and so speed and passing, capitalizing on some counter moves is going to help out too. Outside that it goes. Good crowds on both sides of the stadium. On our side, we've got the Ramona High School Bulldogs parents and fans. The far side, top of your screen, that's the University of San Diego High School Dons. Again, the Dons girls played earlier this morning, and now it's the Dons boys. And the boys right now out in front by a score of 1-0. Outside it goes. Good strong throw comes in at the midfield line. Ball is free. Who wins it? Bulldogs. Bulldogs pick it up. Chip shot opportunity for the Bulldogs. Waiting. Is it going to go in off the post? Oh, my. 3 inches inside and the Bulldogs score, but it won't be as the ball careens off the near post. My, oh my, how close can you get?
Number 14, Alex Snyder with a shot on
14, Alex Snyder, senior, came up and almost tied this one up for the Bulldogs. Boy, you can't get much closer than that. Off the near post. Ball comes back in. That's what the Bulldogs need to do, make something happen. Bring that ball downfield, take some shots on goals. Dons have been doing it all first half, and they've at least got 1 goal for it. In the second half, you're going to see the Bulldogs, if they're going to have an opportunity here, they are going to be much more aggressive in bringing that ball downfield and getting it inside with some shots on goal. Right now,
2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen,
with less than 2 minutes left in this first half, Bulldogs will have to push up. Try and get something to happen before they run out of time. Got another 40 minutes after this, and even overtime if we have to, so there's a lot of time left. But for a moral victory, you'd love to be able to tie this one up before you go in at halftime. Header by Meisner inside the box. Higginbotham. Grosh. And then it's still free inside the box. Looking for the regroup. Meisner and the Dons. Meisner challenged. He's free. It's coming in. Header time. The ball is free. Number 4, Chris Hooper, came up to challenge for the ball. He was looking for a header. Aaron Crossett comes up again, and Crossett takes control of his area and comes up with a nice save. Outside the touchline it goes. Things slow down a bit. Bulldogs and Dons going at it right here at Mesa College. Slight breeze is what we've got, but we're down inside a stadium, so it really doesn't affect that much on the field. Up here on the press box level, you can feel the full wind as it blows across, basically across the field. So from the bottom of your screen to the top is the direction in which the wind is blowing. McNeil sends one high. Grosh feeds over to Clemens. Shot on goal. Rocket. Sails high. Nick Clemens.
For Uni with a shot on goal.
Clemens, when he delivers one, that ball is racing off his foot. Higginbotham, he'll put the ball back into play. Higginbotham has got one of the strong legs, if not the strongest, on the Bulldogs. Nice job, Aviles. And now gives way to Talbot. Talbot back over to Wilshusen. And tangling it up. Look out now. Number 13, Fizenmayer. Fizenmayer. A yellow card is given. So Fizenmayer tangled up with Wilshusen. And that gives the Ramona Bulldogs a free kick. Also, Fizenmayer has to go out of the game for a few minutes. He'll be back in. Possibly not before the second half because we're going to about run out of time.
12,
long ball downfield, header. Oh, my, they had the right idea. David Montijo took the long ball from Higginbotham, tried to head it into the box. Sails wide of the far post. For the Dons, they'll come back out with the ball. Nick McNeil, junior defender, puts the ball back into play. Nice ball by McNeil, launches one way downfield, takes the Dons bounce, now picked up for control by Clemens. Clemens going to look to center it, he is challenged. Double challenge, 2-on-1, slows it down, Wilshusen comes over, throw in by Clemens. Dons will have it. Blair, senior defender, has the throw in, and a big, strong throw way in, headed. Oh, my. Outside it goes. Crossett went to his near post to defend. The ball got by everybody, took a bounce, wide open, nobody was there. And that is halftime. That'll end it. 40 minutes have been played. One goal by the University of San Diego High School Dons by the sophomore forward, Jason Weinert. And we will end the first half by a score. Dons 1, Bulldogs nothing. Stay with us. We'll be right back to start the second half. Another 40 minutes in store for you in the boys under 13 CIF San Diego section championship game. Both teams are out onto the field. Head referee marking his watch, the whistle is blown, and we are underway. In the second half now, moving from left to right, will be the hard-charging Ramona Bulldogs. Defending the right-hand goal will be the University of San Diego High School Dons. They are on the attack. The first half, you got to give favor and the advantage, not only in the scoring, but also in the fact that the Dons put heavy offensive attack pressure down on Aaron Crossett and the Ramona Bulldogs all first half. Many, many shots on goal. The result was one goal into the net by Jason Weinert, number 17, and that's where we have it right now. What we look to see in the second half is the Ramona Bulldogs to do the same thing, to step it up a little bit, to play a little bit more aggressive and bring the ball downfield. Passing attempt is taken away by the defense of Nick McNeil for the Dons. Clemens sends the ball to the center, wide open, looking for an opportunity is Diaz. He'll make the turn. Higginbotham, it bounces off his body. They're going to get a corner kick right away. So the Dons come right back with the heavy attack offense pressure that they had all the first half. The result right now is a corner kick. They've got the wind at their backs, and the wind is starting to become a little bit stronger here as we move into the early afternoon. Ball comes in, opportunity, batted away. Aaron Crossett batted that ball away and sent it all the way down towards the midfield line. Huge save. Crossett has been there and done that many times, not only in this game, but that's what's helped to get the Bulldogs to this finals game. Feed to Diaz. Slowing it down. Number 12, Dan Rizzo. Rizzo, a junior on the Ramona Bulldogs team. Diaz will throw the ball back into Fizenmayer. Shot on goal on the ground. A nice save again by Crossett. The good thing is Crossett, good, solid player. He can defend his goal. Bad news, he's having to save too many shots on goal.
Scott Martin with a shot on goal.
The Bulldogs offensively must be able to get that ball downfield and start putting some pressure on Garrett Govea. They just haven't been able to do it yet. Good news, only down by 1. And a lot of time left in the game. Good straddle by the head referee. With the ball, Kamerly inside, nice header. Kevin Meissner with the ball, heads it, sends it far the post. Once again, Higginbotham will put it in. And again, we've been calling Higginbotham's name a lot because the Dons have putting so many balls down near the basket of the Bulldogs. Downfield. Basket, box, cage, net. You name it, we'll call it. Throw-in will come in by the Dons. Throw-in comes in high. Again, Dons, nice footwork by Jason Weinhardt. He kept it in and sent it towards the net. Guess what? Higginbotham has a goal kick again. And the parents down below starting to try and get their team motivated. High into the air. Diaz looks for control. Talbot sends it outside the touchline. Well, the Dons at the halftime mark taking a breather, enjoying the fact that they've got a 1-0 lead. Ramona High School trying to figure out what they need to do to get through the strong defense of the Dons, and most importantly, put the ball inside the box. Strong throw in by Rizzo. Up into the air, Montijo winning the ball, and we've got an injured player on the field. That's number 1, Jacob Tepane, and you heard the growling of pain all the way up here. It was a tackle attempt by the Dons, and Tepane goes down.
Injured player on the field, number 1.
Jacob Tepane is down, and he is in some agony right now. Clock continues to move. Head referee allowing for Tepane to try and possibly shake off. And now the head referee is allowing the trainers and coach to come out on the field. And we're going to take an injury timeout with the score, Dons 1, Bulldogs nothing. We'll be right back. Jacob DePayne being helped off the field, being carried off the field. And we hope that Jacob DePayne will shake it off. But he is going to take a seat. And replacing Jacob is number 14, Alex Snyder. Snyder is senior for the Bulldogs. DePayne will be looked at. Higginbotham. Higginbotham launches one long distance. Govea comes up. He shows his talent for snagging balls out of the air. And then Govea sends a nice one way downfield. Blair throwing in. Back comes the throw in. You know, okay, they're going to give it over to the Bulldogs. Dawns a little bit sharper, a little bit faster to the ball. And I think that's really been the difference, too. Little speed there, moving on, trying to drive through was McCausland. McCausland not giving up. McCausland staying with it. McCausland taking down Brian Talbot, draws the penalty free kick for Ramona Bulldogs. But that tenacity, that aggressiveness is really the edge right now in this score of 1-0. Diaz fighting for control, coming up and taking away. Nice ball being fed to Weinert. Weinert back for control to the middle of the field. Stepping in front nicely, Brian Talbot. High and wide. Outside it goes off the foot of Nick Clemens. Higginbotham will bring the ball back in. Garrett Govea, the keeper for the Dons. His counterpart, Aaron Crossett. Crossett is a senior, Govea a sophomore. So for the Dons, they've got the makings of a keeper that's going to be around for 3 more seasons. This one, then junior, and then their senior year. Crossing on the ground, shot on goal, save!
Crossett with the big-time save.
So the crossing ball came in, shot on goal by Meisner. Reaching out with his right hand was Crossett, saving the ball. And now the clear-out is effective by the Bulldogs. And on the ground this time is Higginbotham. Higginbotham is going to be slow to get up. And there's going to be a yellow card being given to Meisner. Back into action, Higginbotham lofts one across the midfield line. Diaz heads it back. The turn of the body gives Snyder the ball and then loses control as it goes outside of the touchline. And now the head referee is coming over. Coming out of the game is Snyder. Action on the near sideline. Foot on the ball by Jaramillo. On the far sideline, moving downfield in their wave. Attacking the ball, but staying with it now. Martin. Shot on goal, sails through the crossbars, high above the cage, and Higginbotham once again will put it back into play. Coming back onto the field, Alex Snyder. So for the whole team, here's our rosters. For the Bulldogs, Aaron Crossett, Jacob DePayne is number 1, Derek Torpin is 3, Kyle Gross is 2, 5, Chad Wilshusen, Blake Wilson is 6, Jose Jaramillo is number 7, number 9, Armando Delgado, Ryan Higginbotham, number 10, number 12 is Dan Rizzo, number 13, Daniel Montijo, Alex Snyder, 14, 20 is David Montijo, Abraham Aviles is number 21. Number 23, Brian Talbot, and Torrin Saunders, that is number 26. So we've got the Montijo brothers, Daniel and David, and the Wilshusen brothers, Chad and Blake. That's kind of a rarity. Coming into the box, gets by everybody outside the box at goals. Corner kick time for the Dons. At the 52-minute mark of this game, we play a total of 80 minutes. Comes in high, gets by everybody. And for the Bulldogs, they send it outside on the touchline, so the throw-in will come in. And we are in a familiar pattern, my friends. The Dons, once again, maintaining heavy offensive attack pressure down on the Bulldogs. Bulldogs on their heels, simply trying to play defense, but they've got to play offense. Good, strong throw, goes high. Foot on the ball, sends it up and over the crossbar. That's Matt McCausland. Bulldogs need to play offense. They've got to bring that ball down and start putting some pressure and shots on goal against the Dons and Garrett Govea. Otherwise, this is not going to be good for the Ramona Bulldogs. They have been on defense 75% of this game. Rizzo will send it downfield. Outside it goes. Rizzo with the throw-in, looking for Snyder. Outside that it goes, racing out of room, Chad Wilshusen. So the Dons will put the ball back into play. Nick McNeil. The roster for the Dons, Garrett Govea, the keeper, number 2, Kevin Meissner, Steve Grosh, number 3, Chris Hooper, 4. Matt Kamerly is number 5, Robbie Diaz is 6, number 7, Nick McNeil, number 8, Joe Floyd. Jason Bales is number 9, number 10, Matt McCausland, Ryan Blair, number 11, Mike Gaffa, number 12, Mark Fizenmayer, number 13, Juan Mackless is number 14. Number 15 is Scott Martin. Morgan Todd is number 16. Number 17 is Jason Weinert. Number 18, John Zimmer. And number 19, Nick Clemens. Ball goes outside of the goal line, so the goal kick comes in by Higginbotham. Sun comes out a little bit, peeking its head out, get a little bit of warmth as trying to make the turn is going to be Jason Mackless. Mackless runs out of room on his end. Higginbotham. He surely has a strong leg. He can get it downfield for sure. Now there's an opportunity picked up by Wilshusen. Trying to feed it inside the box, has to give way. Bulldogs will try and regroup as they are challenged defensively. Outside the touchline, no, the ball dies, but it will go outside of the goal line. Matter of philosophy possibly right now. Dons more aggressive at getting to the ball on defense, and it's a strategy. It's almost that the Bulldogs are playing a wait-and-see defense. They'll wait till the Dons will get the ball, then they'll attack. The Dons, on the other hand, attacking and trying to anticipate who's going to get the ball, and then being right there on the player, able to go after and challenge the Bulldogs defenders immediately, or offensive players immediately. The feed given to McCausland. McCausland will look for a shot on goal. It sails wide of the near post. Diving was crossed it. He didn't need to, as it sailed into the side of the box.
With the shot on goal for Uni.
And the Dons continues to put shot after shot on goal. Bulldogs downfield. Challenging. Diaz will take it. Diaz stays up with it. Diaz will give way, that is, to Kamerly. A header by Rizzo, but it headed right back by Blair. Grosh. Coming up, taking the ball away is Mackless. Mackless will take a shot on goal, looking really for Robbie Diaz to come in the picture, but snagging the ball is Crossett to set it downfield. Dons on the move again. Martin using the whole field. Pick up by Fisenmayer. Inside the box. Sailing wide. And there'll be a goal kick. That ball had some mustard on it. That thing took off the foot. Montijo. And that thing just was a beeline for the near post. Just sailed wide. And so Higginbotham puts it back into play.
Oh, check that.
Dons, number 3 into the game. That's Steve Grosh. Check that. Derek Torpin, number 3, for the Ramona Bulldogs into the game. Rizzo will have the ball, and he'll throw it in for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs 13-8-2, their record. 16-7-1, the Dons record. Dons seeded number 1 in this CIF series, and for the Bulldogs, they were seeded number 3. So the Dons found themselves here, and the Bulldogs have found themselves here, and they're battling it out for the Division III championship. Good focus by McCausland. Ryan Blair puts the ball into play from the corner kick. They've got a wind facing into Blair. He'll keep it on the ground. It's free, and it's cleared out by Rizzo. Boy, you got all those bodies inside the box. Goalkeeper's got a tough time for sure. Goal kick. So Higginbotham puts it back into play. Diaz, and last off of number 17. Back into the game it goes. Substitution, Grosh will come out. Coming in, back into the game, Kevin Meisner. I see a 17 that's on the field for Ramona, but it's not listed on the roster, so I can't tell you who 17 is. Ball comes in on the ground. Higginbotham, foot on the ball. Dons will keep it, and they'll have the throw in. Wind kicking up a bit. Inside the box. 2-on-1 defense is there for the Bulldogs. Winning the ball, though, is the Dons. Back over to Mackless. Mackless looking to cross the ball. He does. It's in the air. Punched at by Crossett. Crossett punched at it and got it away outside of the box. And that's going to touch somebody. Don't know who it is. It's corner kick time. Jogging up and down the field is Jacob Tepane. He was carried off the field, the Bulldog player, and he is checking out his right foot. I think Tepane in the slide tackle got severely hit in the shin area, and he is checking out to see whether he can go back in the game. In the meantime, corner kick comes in by the Dons on the ground, cleared out by the Bulldogs. Outside it'll go. Bulldogs will have possession, and they'll now need to try and figure out how they can put together a strong offensive attack. Down by 1 goal. The lone goal in the first half by Jason Weinart for the Dons, number 17, and that's all the scoring we have. Dons have definitely put the pressure on the Bulldogs time and time again. Bulldogs have got to come up and start being the offensive attackers, not the defenders all the time. Question is, how do you do that? I think that's what Coach Chris Welsh is trying to figure out. Well, today we're watching the CIF Divisional Championships for soccer tonight at Cox Arena at San Diego State University. You've got the CIF Basketball Championships. So a full day and night of sports in San Diego for high school. Really, San Diego does a nice job of supporting high school sports. Considering the fact that we are such a large city with such a diverse amount of activities to do, we really do a good job of supporting them. Dan Rizzo will have a long throw in to get it inside the box. Does the job, comes in, defense is there by the Dons. Weinert keeps it in, gives it to Diaz, who sends it downfield. Higginbotham answers back. With control, Meisner gives way to Diaz again. Diaz with a nice move. Diaz has some open field. Diaz will bring it down. Diaz stays with it. Diaz going to take a shot on goal. Higginbotham to the head. Oh, my. Opportunity for Ramona. Look out. A three-way traffic jam out there on the field. Tangling it up out on the field. Derek Torpin was out there. Also, Blake Wilshusen. Higginbotham now deep, looking for the center. Martin involved with that one. And for the Bulldogs, they're going to have a corner kick with the wind to their back. And so they're going to be able to get that ball up and crossing the face, and they're going to look for some header action. Higginbotham, the booming foot that he has, doesn't need all of it here, just to chip it up and crossing the face. Let's see what happens. Govea in the box. Fisenmayer's in there defensively. Meisner. Ball comes in. He keeps it on the ground, and that gets cleared out by the Dons. Fighting for control. Who'll win the ball? With it. Opportunity. Shot on goal. Sails wide of the face of the far post, but that is what the Bulldogs have to do. They've got to bring it downfield, and they've got to put some shots on goal, and they got to do it now. We are at the 55-minute mark of an 80-minute game.
Armando Delgado with the shot on goal for Ramona.
Check that. We are at the 65-minute mark. 65-minute mark. 15 minutes left in this game. You got 15 minutes left to put something together, the Bulldogs do. The Dons, they are answering back. The Dons fighting it out, duking it out right in the middle of the field. Outside the touchline. Throwing now by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs showed a little life. They've showed a little spark here in the last couple minutes. Good, strong throw in. Bulldogs will have it. Trying to get it inside. Off the foot of Hooper defensively. Higginbotham challenges and brings it downfield. So for the Bulldogs, they're marking up, they're playing up, they're trying to bring all their guns downfield. And that's what they've got to do. They've got to be more aggressive. On the race, who'll win it? Opportunity for the Dons, shot on goal! Sails wide, wide of the near post. Jason Weinert put on the afterburners and raced inside the box all alone. His shot on goal was wide, And the Bulldogs escape a bullet there, folks. Higginbotham downfield. Awarded back over to the Dons. Near side throw in. Kamerly. Headed by Fisenmayer. Nice job keeping the ball in. Wow. Rizzo, Dan Rizzo, does the job for the Ramona Bulldogs. Now on the move to the far side. Martin will squeak it in to Mackless. Outside that it goes, and so the defense is there for the Bulldogs. Well, the last series, when the Bulldogs were on offense, they did show some spark, some life, and that's what they need to do. They got to keep it up. Can't be a spark, can't be a surge. It's got to be all on for the rest of this game. Making the turn, just missing an opportunity. Good job by Meisner as he makes the turn and centers the ball. McCausland was there forward for the Dons. McCausland, a junior. So the Bulldogs need to control the ball and move it downfield. Good, strong kick downfield. A nice one. Carries long ball outside that it goes back over to the Dons. University of San Diego High School Dons and the Ramona High School Bulldogs. Head coach for the Dons, Kevin Yaley. Chris Welch, his counterpart. And they have been battling it out here. 1-0 is the score. The lone goal in the first half. Jason Weinart, sophomore forward for the Dons, puts the ball into the net, and that's all the scoring we've had. For the Dons, though, they definitely have had the overall advantage. If you're scoring based on shots on goal, getting to the ball first, taking the ball away, I think you got to give it to the Dons. Time still remains for the Bulldogs. They just have to pull something out, a miracle. They've got to dig deep within and find that extra spark, light it, and then stay with it for the rest of the game. Ball comes in off the foot of McNeil. Inside the box, now outside. Inside, trying to drive in for a shot on goal. That's Weinert. Mackless has it. Higginbotham screens the body, but it's still inside the box, still on the ground. Shot on goal! Number 4, Chris Hooper. Shot on goal, and that ball goes in. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Referee says no goal. Okay. So again, the Bulldogs escape another bullet. Ball comes back into play. We'll rewind your tape and watch it in slow motion and figure out why that was not a goal. Dons will have it. Chris Hooper, who had the shot on goal where the ball went in, it didn't count, but he's got the ball in his hand, and he'll send it in. 70-minute mark of this 80-minute game. Meisner looks to center it. Corner kick time for the Dons. Touched by Aviles. 2 more games being played here this afternoon. Both the Division III games here this morning. Shot on goal, sails wide. Dons put the shot on goal. It sails wide to the far post.
Number 4, Chris Hooper with the shot on goal for the Dons.
So Hooper had another chance, shot on goal. This time it sailed wide of the post, and so goal kick will come in, and we have a substitution For the Bulldogs, David Montijo, number 20, is in. Taking a breather is 23, Brian Talbot. Talbot, a junior for the Bulldogs. Back for control to Govea. Into the corner. And good news, Jacob Tepane, number 1, is back into the game. Tepane, who had been carried off the field earlier, running with looks like no pain in his right lower leg. So that is great news for Payne and the Bulldogs. Dons sends one downfield by Nick McNeil. Higginbotham sends it out defensively, so the Dons once again find themselves down deep into the Bulldogs part of the field. They'll have a throw-in, wind at their back, and they'll get it inside the box. Substitution now for the Dons. Coming out is number 14, Jason Mackless, the sophomore midfielder. Back into the game. Looks like number 6, Robbie Diaz, and he sees action immediately, Diaz does. Trying to clear it out, it's done so. Short field taken by Blair. Blair gives way to Weinert. Weinert shot on goal, launches it wide and high, and so Bulldogs will start down deep. If there's anything that happens with that ball getting sent down there, it's taking precious time off the clock, as well as forcing the Bulldogs to start about as far back as you can inside their box. Taken now by Meisner. 3 players out there. Nice feed to the far sideline. McCausland. McCausland brings it in. Headed. McCausland, nice job bringing the ball from the far side, centering it. A diving header by Jason Weinert sends the ball wide and high. Goal kick. Substitution now. Into the game will be Daniel Montijo. Coming out will be Jose Jaramillo. So Montijo for Jaramillo. Downfield it goes. For the Dons right now, who got to feel very much in control, although only ahead by 1 goal, they've very much been able to put handcuffs on the offensive attack of the Ramona Bulldogs today. So anytime they can send the ball downfield or simply send it out of bounds downfield, that's fine. Walking the tight line, that's Scott Martin, and he's battling it out with Abraham Aviles. Ball awarded to the Dons. Partisan Ramona crowd on the near side not liking the call of the head referee. Throw-in comes into Meisner. Meisner in the corner being challenged by Rizzo. Rizzo and Meisner going at it. Meisner will try and make the turn, stays with it. Defense is there, come up by Aviles. Aviles sends one downfield. Header by number 13, Fizenmayer. Quick throw in, trying to capitalize on his short player with the ball. And out it goes. Chris Hooper sends one into the stands to slow down the attack offense of the Bulldogs. Substitution for the Bulldogs, Derek Torpin, sophomore, comes into the game. And we are at the 55-minute, I'm sorry, the 75-minute mark. In the air! It's in there for the Bulldogs. Now it's back out. Nice clear out by the Hooper for the Dons. Time now is a factor. Less than 5 minutes to play in regulation time. Now you see what happens is right now the Bulldogs, the way they've been playing this game is almost in a prevent type of defense. Now, that's a good description of it. They wait for the Dons to get control of the ball before they challenge, and they just can't do that. They need to be on top of their player. They need to mark them, and they also need to anticipate and try and step in front and have quick takeaways. Just hasn't been working very well for the Ramona Bulldogs today. You got to give credit to the Dons, though. They've been there. They've got the aggressiveness today. They've peppered Aaron Crossett, who's made some great saves today. But they've peppered Crossett, Higginbotham, and the rest of the defense of the Bulldogs all day today. And they've played most of the game in the half of the Bulldogs. Once again, into the air, going high is Hooper with control. Dons cleared out by Ramona. The ball is free, picked up by McNeil. McNeil will send it high. Outside it goes. Ramona will have the ball with the throw-in. '77-minute mark. Feed to Montijo. Clear out. Pass to Hooper. Hooper gives it back over to Weinert. Weinert's got an opportunity. Look for Diaz. He's traveling. Diaz, top of the box, looking for a shot on goal. Won't be there. Higginbotham tangles it up with Diaz. Rizzo is also there, so it's Rizzo and Higginbotham, a 1-2 combination. And Diaz is on the ground. The head referee stops the clock. Getting up slowly is Diaz as he is sandwiched between the two Bulldogs
Robbie Diaz, the injured
defenders.
player for the Dons. He's up on his own. Way to go, Robbie.
Play resumes. The throw-in will come in by Ryan Blair. Into the box to Payne. Far sideline going after it. Torpin challenged by McNeil defensively, and McNeil sends it outside of the touchline. Passing through the 78-minute now mark of the game. Final
2 minutes. Official time being kept on the field.
Well, that's what I was just going to tell you. Final 2 minutes. When you get inside that, the official time being kept on the field by the head referee. Ball gets inside the box, headed out, so it's goal kick for the Dons. You are watching the boys Division III CIF San Diego section championship soccer game being brought to you by George Langevin Sports Video Productions, your leader in Game of the Week coverage. And we've had a good game here today. Dons and the Bulldogs going at it. Bulldogs coming into this game wanting to repeat. They are the 1999 Division III champions. They are not going to do it today if it looks like it's going to maintain this in the last minute of the game. A miracle can happen. A weak link can be found, an open lane, and the ball can go in. But the Bulldogs have to take control of the ball, win the ball, drive it downfield. And they have not been able to do that all game long today. Dons chipping the ball inside the box. Kamerly trying to zigzag out. That'll be a throw-in by the Dons on the near sideline. Throw-in will come in by the Bulldogs. Throw-in comes in. Carry through. Header defensively by Blair. Touch of the ball by Fisenmayer defensively by the Dons. Outside that it goes. So precious seconds tick by, and we are almost out of time. Throw-in will come in by the Dons.
Reminder, please remain off of the field at the conclusion of today's game. For the
long ball downfield,
please
moving to his left on the bounce. Will take it, Aaron Crossett. Crossett, short shank, and that's the whistle. And that is the game for the boys Division III. The lone goal in the first half by number 17, Jason Weinart, is all that was needed for the University of San Diego High School Dons. The Dons are crowned the 2000, that is, boys Division III champions as they are able to defeat the Ramona High School Bulldogs by a final score 1-0. On behalf of George Langevin Sports Video Productions, I'd like to thank you for watching this game today, and as always, we'll see you again. Bye-bye, everybody.
Number 2, Kyle Crossett. Number 10, Ryan Higginbotham. Number 7, Jose Ramillo.
Ryan, well played. Good out there.
Number 17, Matt Kelsey. Number 13, Daniel Montillo.
Daniel, nice play.
Number 20, David Montillo.
David.
Number 12, Dan Rizzo.
Danny, great job.
Number 14, Alex Snyder. Number 23, Brian Cowett. Number 3, Derek Corbin. Number 1, Jacob Tremaine. Number 6, Blake Will Susan. Will Susan. And number 5, Chad Will Susan. Head coach Chris Wills, his assistant Kevin LeBeau. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2000 Ramona Bulldogs. Good job, gentlemen.
We got 2 more. Congratulations. Your medals for runner-up. Anybody else not get one?
Forward to the University of San Diego High School Dons for 2023. Their athletic director is Dave Mola. Their principal is Dr. Richard Kelly. Number 9, Jason Bale. Number 11, Ryan Blair. Number 19, Dick Pullman. Number 6, Ryan Diaz. Joe Floyd. Number 12, Mike Gappa. Number 20, Matthias Gonzalez. Number 1, Garrett Correa. Number 3, Brooks. Number 4, Chris Cooper. Number 5, Matt Caroli. Number 14, Juan Macklin. Number 15, Martin. Number 10, Jack McLaughlin. Number 7, Dick McNeil. Number 2, Kevin Meisner.